smile. She reminded herself not to underestimate him. She'd done that once before. Thought she was so smart and found he was using her for his own ends. Beneath his sandy gray hair was a shrewd mind. "Get out there and tell her to leave." "I'll check her out in the morning." Tomorrow was Sunday and Susan's day off. She had plans, but not something she was eager to get at. "I'm not asking you, Ms. Wren. I'm telling you." "Mr. Mayor, I have to meet with a group of college students in—" She glanced at her watch and saw it was 3 o'clock. 1 hour. She was to tell them the committee stood firm in its decision not to allow them a booth at the crafts fair. The kids wanted to pass out information on AIDS, and if they were denied, they threatened a demonstration. Like you've never seen. If they even tried it, one committee member had threatened to bring his shotgun. "You serve at the pleasure of the city council," he said. Ah, yes. The club he held over her head. Temporary, synonymous with "you're the wrong sex," and not only that, but an outsider. Martin Bockover was a tried-and-true chauvinist. This was the beginning of Susan Wren's second year as acting chief of police. After finding her husband's killer, she'd simply stayed on, needing a place to heal. Hampstead was as good as any. In spite of the murder investigation at the start, the town was safe. Daniel's life had been here, and the job was low-key. She'd simply let the days slide one into another, dealing with a few break-ins, theft from autos, running of stop signs, loud music, barking dogs, and the occasional instance of wife-beating. To change the pattern, there were her periodic scare sermons to various school-age groups on the dangers of drugs, exciting things, like the celebration of a resident's 100th birthday, and the odd parade to commemorate such important events as Timberwolf Day. She picked up her pen and shuffled under papers for her notebook. If she moved smartly, she could just work in a visit with this hippie before meeting the students. "What's her name?" "I don't know." He reached for the cane and rose, gave a little jiggle to straighten his trouser legs, and rested both hands on the silver handle. "Any difficulties with the budget?" He nodded at the forms. "Keep those figures within reason." Ha! She wondered if there was some way to sneak in the money to hire a new female officer. Where the hell was the old Creighton place? Another little reminder that she was an outsider. Probably property still identified by the name of some previous owner a generation or two back. She pushed a button on the phone and asked Hazel for directions. The sky was an ominous gray when she headed the pickup across town on Rock Ridge, and then cut north. Rain, she thought. It wasn't cold enough to snow. Must be getting used to Kansas, if she was blithely dismissing this temperature as not cold enough to snow. To her California blood, anything under 40 degrees felt cold enough to snow. Hampstead, nestled in shallow hills between two rivers, was a clean little town with wide streets and large trees that arched overhead, homes ranging from very modest to expensive. But even the cost of the most expensive was downright laughable if compared with San Francisco real estate. A pretty town in sunshine. With the overcast sky, Hampstead had a hunkered-down, closed-in look that made her feel like an alien. Hazel's directions on the seat beside her. She drove past the fast-food places and used car lots on the edge of town, then hit open fields with limestone fence posts and barbed wire fencing. A red-winged blackbird took flight as she sped by. Keeping an eye on the odometer, she clocked off 1 mile and then swung left into a long driveway more mud than gravel and riddled with potholes. Brush scraped at the pickup as she jounced toward what she hoped was a house. The driveway widened, and on her left, the brush gave way to an expanse of dead weeds. On the right, beyond the house, stood a thick grove of trees. A weak ray of sunshine, straggling through a dark cloud, hit on a mean little house, weathered wood frame with flaking no-color paint.